The phone rang every night at 3 o'clock a.m. until she finally answered every night at exactly 3 o'clock a.m. Emma Carter's phone rang. The first time, she ignored it. The second time, she answered. Silence. No voice. Only slow, steady breathing. Then, the call ended. At first, she convinced herself it was a prank, but the calls never stopped. Every single night, exactly 3 o'clock a.m., always. From an unknown number. Always the same chilling silence. Emma hadn't slept properly in weeks. She lived alone in a small house on the edge of town after losing her husband, Michael, in a tragic car accident years earlier. The grief had never truly left her. But now something even stranger had entered her life. One morning, exhausted and frightened, she visited the local police station. Officer Daniel Brooks listened patiently. "It sounds like someone is trying to scare you," he said. "We'll keep an eye on things." Emma thanked him. But deep down she wasn't convinced. That night, she decided she wouldn't ignore the call. At exactly 3 o'clock a.m., the phone rang. She answered immediately. "Who are you?" Silence. Then a whisper. "Check the attic." The line went dead. Emma sat frozen. No one besides Michael had ever used the attic. After his death, she had locked it and never returned. As sunrise filled the house, she climbed the narrow wooden stairs, dust-covered. Everything. Old boxes, broken furniture. Photo albums. Near the back wall stood an old wooden chest. She had never noticed it before. Inside were Michael's notebooks, family photographs, and a sealed envelope with her name written across the front. Her hands shook as she opened it. "Emma, if you're reading this, something has gone terribly wrong. If anyone ever contacts you at 3 o'clock a.m., don't ignore them. I discovered something dangerous. Trust your instincts. Everything you need is hidden inside my old camera." Emma couldn't breathe. Michael had written the letter 6 months before his death. She rushed downstairs and searched through the garage until she found his dusty camera bag. Inside the camera wasn't a memory card. Instead, there was a tiny flash drive. Before she could plug it into her laptop, the phone rang again. 3 o'clock a.m., but it wasn't night. Emma looked at the clock. It was only 11:15 a.m., confused. She answered. A man's voice spoke. "For the first time, they know you found it. Double quotes. Click. The call ended. Emma quickly locked every door. Someone knocked. 3 slow knocks. She looked through the peephole. Nobody. When she opened the door, a small package rested on the porch. Inside was a newspaper clipping. "Local engineer killed in car accident." Michelle's photograph stared back at her. Across the headline, someone had written in red ink, "It wasn't an accident." Emma immediately called Daniel. Within minutes he arrived. She showed him the letter, the flash drive, and the newspaper clipping. Daniel's expression changed. "This is bigger than I thought." He inserted the flash drive into his laptop. Dozens of files appeared. Emails. Financial records. Photos. Security videos. One video was labeled, "If anything happens to Michael," appeared on the screen. He looked tired. Nervous. Double quotes. "If you're watching this," he said, "I'm probably gone." Emma covered her mouth. "I uncovered evidence that my company has been stealing millions through fake construction contracts." Michael continued. "They've bribed powerful people to stay silent. I tried reporting them. They warned me to stop. If I die, it wasn't an accident." The video ended. Daniel looked at Emma. "We need to take this to federal investigators." Before they could leave, a black SUV stopped outside. 2 men stepped out. Both wore dark suits. Neither looked like police officers. One of them smiled. "Mrs. Carter, we're here to collect company property." Emma stepped backward. "I don't know what you're talking about." The man glanced toward the house. "We know you found the drive." Daniel quietly reached for his service weapon. "So that's what this is about." The Stranger smiled again. It doesn't have to be difficult, Daniel whispered. Emma, run. She didn't hesitate. Emma escaped through the back door while Daniel confronted the men. She heard shouting, then a gunshot. Tears filled her eyes. But she kept running. Michael's letter had included one final instruction: if you're ever in danger, go to the old lighthouse. The lighthouse stood abandoned nearly 20 miles outside town. By sunset, Emma finally arrived inside. She found another surprise: a laptop, a portable battery, and another envelope. Michael had prepared everything years earlier. The second letter read, Emma, if you made it this far, you're stronger than you know. The laptop automatically sends every file to federal authorities. Once you press enter, they can stop me, but they can't stop the truth. Emma smiled. Through her tears, she inserted the flash drive. The upload bar slowly began moving. 10% to 5% 40%. Suddenly, car headlights appeared outside. The men had found her. They rushed toward the lighthouse. Emma locked the heavy door. The upload reached 70%. The men began breaking the door with metal bars. 80% wood cracked. 90% the hinges bent. 95%. The door burst open. The two men charged inside. One reached toward the laptop. Emma shoved him away with all her strength. The upload reached 100%. Upload complete within seconds. Every file had been transmitted. The stranger stared at the screen. No sirens echoed across the coastline. Red and blue lights flashed. Outside, federal agents surrounded the lighthouse. Federal agents, don't move. The two men surrendered immediately. Emma collapsed into a chair, exhausted. Hours later, investigators confirmed the evidence had exposed a nationwide corruption scheme involving millions of dollars in fraud. Several executives were arrested. Michael's death was officially reopened. Months later, investigators proved someone had tampered with his car before the crash. His death was ruled murder. Justice had finally arrived. One quiet evening, nearly a year later, Emma sat on her porch watching the sunset. Her phone buzzed. For a brief moment, her heart raced. She looked at the screen. Not an unknown number, just a reminder she had created herself. Keep moving forward. Emma smiled. She looked toward the sky and whispered, you kept your promise, Michael, for the first time in years. She slept peacefully, and from that night on, the phone never rang at 3 o'clock a.m. again. The end.